Hello everyone, this is Jesse the Literate Barbarian, here to bring you my Season 8, Episode 4, uh, Game of Thrones walkthrough review, whatever you want to call it. What doesn't really matter. When I thought of Episode 4 and then my predictions for Episode 5, I'm going to keep this one shorter than I kept the last one because I get out of hand. I get long-winded sometimes, so I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible. And I guess, from my understanding, from what I've been seeing online, is a bunch of people hate Episode 4, which I don't really get. There was a little bit of hate, for Episode 3, but there's a hell of a lot more hate for Episode 4, and I didn't understand why, because I thought Episode 4 was one of the best so far in this season. I mean, the first two were just two long episodes that were really slow, preparing you for the battle of the long night, and a lot of the long night looked really good. I mean, it looks good, but it's not like the tactic. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could attack on it. 4, I mean, I guess you could say that it jumps around a lot, I guess, but a lot of the scenes individually are all pretty good. I don't know. But whatever. I guess people, they like to complain about stuff, especially people who already hate Game of Thrones. And I guess, not for Game of Thrones, but there's sometimes it's cool for people to hate popular things. So they just want to, they want something to attack. And I have a bunch of writer friends who are attacking this episode, and it's like, whatever. So they can make a better story. Okay, fine, cool. Glad you guys can make a better story. All right, so let's go through some of the actual episode. So you have it starting out with burning the dead and Jon's speech. I think that whole scene is good. You see the ghosts alive. They burn all the bodies. Jon gives a good speech. It's pretty simple. I thought it was well done. Right afterwards, which I figured would happen soon. They're partying afterwards because which makes total sense because everybody probably thought they were going to die. Nobody would think they're going to be alive at this point, right? So one of the first things that happens is Dany goes ahead and changes Gendry's name from Gendry Rivers, which is, the bastard name, to Gendry Baratheon and gives him Storm's End. Makes total sense. Because we don't even know who's at Storm's End anyway. And then Gendry runs off and then he proposes to Arya, which I also think makes a lot of sense. Because he just got put in, this is like the most important thing that's probably ever happened to him in his whole life. Like the guy's had like nothing his whole life, and now he finally gets this. And the first person he wants to share it with. And in the books, him and Arya spend quite a bit of time together. I'm going to say that he already loves her. And they just spent, a night together right before the long night. So it to me, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense because, he's not going to know anybody there. Wants to take her with him. And then I also understand why she also declines. Makes total sense to me. Her journey's not finished yet. It's possible that she comes back. It's possible that she shows up at Storm's End. At the end of this whole journey that we're talking about, but definitely not yet because she's not finished. She has one more thing to take care of. All right, so then you have the North loving Jon Snow. So you have while this party's going on, everybody's drinking. Tormund's drinking. Everybody's talking about what a crazy bastard Jon Snow is. I think it's all really well done. That whole scene is really well done. Everybody loves Jon Snow, and then you keep having. You can tell that Dany is already jealous of him. She can tell that she doesn't fit in. Her and Sansa are having these different looks. It's and then you have Dany who's getting a little jealous and kind of whatever, and she gives Jon the ultimatum, that hey, don't tell anybody that you're Aegon Targaryen because of what could happen, and she's acting ridiculous, like she's not right. So then and she tells Jon basically, hey, if they want to have any kind of not a relationship, but like if they want things to go well, he can't tell Sansa and Arya. And then so what does Jon do? Jon gets put in a position where he wants to be honest, and he tells Sansa and Arya. I wish they would have actually showed that scene. That's one complaint I have. I wish they would have shown Bran retelling that story real quick for Sansa and Arya and getting their reactions. I would have liked to gauge that. Didn't get to see it, sadly. What happens right after that? Sansa can't keep secrets. She goes right to Tyrion and tells Tyrion right away. I don't know if she's playing like I don't know if she's playing a Littlefinger like role because she's really unsure of Danny or what's going on. I'm not really positive yet. It makes me feel like it's like a Littlefinger like move. I don't know why. I don't know why her and Arya are so suspicious of Danny. I'm not sure yet. I think they're just playing this up kind of like they did in episode or in season 6. They played up this tension between Sansa and Arya all season, right? And I called it early. I was like, nah, I think this is fake. I think this is fake, and they're actually going to be working together. And then, of course, that's what happens in the finale. I think they're doing that again with Sansa and Danny. I don't think it's completely real, or at least I think Sansa's going to come around. I think. I'm not positive. Yeah, so you have the whole Sansa Danny stuff. Sansa the Hound. I thought that scene was actually pretty good, pretty well done, you know. And the Hound, I love that character is perfectly portrayed, you know. And they're kind of going through the events where he could have taken her with him, where he could have, you know, escaped and tried to get her and Arya back to the north, and then all that stuff wouldn't happen to her. And she basically says, "Well, if all this stuff didn't happen to me, then I wouldn't be who I am," basically, which makes complete sense. Shortly after that, Bronn's back, which you knew Bronn was going to be back. We'll see what happens, because right now he's just threatening, you know, Jaime and Tyrion that he better get something better, and they offer him Highgarden, or Tyrion offers him Highgarden. And Bronn says he's not going to fight, you know, he's not actually going to help. I have a hard time believing that. I think Bronn's going to be back. Because, I mean, it makes sense that Bronn would be back anyway, because if he can potentially help to sway the outcome, then he gets a better chance of getting Highgarden, which I think is cool for him anyway. I'd love to see Bronn and Highgarden. Okay, so then right after that, you get to see Arya and the Hound heading for King's Landing, which makes total sense. I called this before. It makes sense. I mean, the Hound has to go meet up with the Mountain. That's just how it's going to be. That's how it's going to work out. Maybe the Hound and the Mountain both die. I'm not sure yet. But it's just a cool story, because I would love to, you know, the Hound and Arya together. It was great in the books. It's going to be great here. I mean, they may not show much of it. Maybe they'll just be there the next episode, and maybe the Hound kills the Mountain, or maybe the Mountain's about to kill the Hound, and then Arya kills the Mountain. I'm not sure yet, because they make some joke when they're leaving about basically the Hound's like, hey, if I'm about to die again, are you going to leave me? You know, and she says, well, maybe I will, or something. So it makes me think that maybe that's foreshadowing of him potentially almost getting killed and Arya killing the Mountain. We'll see. I'm not sure what's going to happen on that just yet. Okay, Jon says goodbye to Ghost, Sam, and Tormund. I think that whole scene's good. That whole scene's good as well. Like all these are good scenes. I mean, I know maybe it's jumpy, but you know, people are pissed off that Jon didn't go pet Ghost or anything. He just kind of gives him a look. I have a feeling that this is not going to be Ghost's last hurrah. I don't think this is going to be it for Ghost. I think the battle might be going poorly, and Ghost is going to show up. Maybe he gives his life for Jon, or maybe he just comes back. Whatever. I think Ghost is going to be back. I think Tormund's going to be back too. I think he'll get everybody to the north, and Tormund will come back south. We'll see. Maybe not. And Sam, you find out that Gilly's pregnant with Sam's kid, you know, and it's just a funny scene. It's well done. You know, Sam and Jon in the book were great too, until you get to like book 5. But yeah, Sam and Jon have always been great together. I love seeing those two on screen. I really enjoy that. So yeah, basically, so Dany's gonna end up heading back south, because they're gonna march on King's Landing now, and people are complaining about this too. There was the Greyjoy attack. So you get them going down south on their ships, and then behind, can't even think of it now. Can't even think of the place. It'll come to me here in a second. Dragonstone. Behind Dragonstone, Euron has like a group of, you know, maybe just a small group of his navy. You know, a handful of so many ships that all are equipped with those Arbalast, Ballista, Scorpion type weapons. You know, they're all mounted on there, and they kill Rhaegal. So he's, you know, I'm assuming he's dead. Look pretty dead. You know, I think this is probably dead. And then they almost kill Dany. Dany, you know, initially is going to get revenge, and then she kind of veers off, flies away. Basically, most of their navy is destroyed, but not all of it. So yeah, that's the thing. You just don't really know, because I'm guessing the Euron just had a small group there, which makes sense, because most likely the Greyjoys, Yeah, their navy is probably superior. Their ships are probably more maneuverable, faster in the water, which is why even if you gave chase, if you had a larger navy, you couldn't stop them. So it's just like a little surprise attack, and then they're gone. That's what I mean. That's what it kind of says in my head. Because let's say you had a superior force there, and you could encircle the island and keep Danny there. That's what you would do. I mean, you destroy the whole navy, which it looked like most of it was destroyed. I'm guessing they're not giving you full details, and you would just keep her there because she can't really leave with her dragon, not very easily. So I'm guessing like a small group, attacks them in and out. They also get Missandei, which, okay, maybe a little weird how they would get one person out of that, but maybe they got like so many slaves and you just didn't know that they'd be able to get her. But a lot of people are pissed off about that whole scene too. Okay, so moving on a little bit. So that news spreads all over quickly. There's a bunch of time jumps from Dany leaving Winterfell, which she had to go to White Harbor, which takes, I can't remember how far White Harbor is, but it's like, I thought it was like 500 or 1,000 miles or something like that. It's hundreds of miles. And then she'd have to get on her ship down to Dragonstone. And then she shows back up again at King's Landing here in a bit. But it's a bunch of jumping around. In that time, throughout the whole show, Varys and Tyrion keep kind of going back and forth. And Varys was like this in the book. Varys is all about protecting the realm and putting the best person on the throne. He's doesn't have really an allegiance to anybody. His allegiance to the realm, and he's very honest about it. And Tyrion, I think Tyrion is really stuck on this idea that maybe he can help Dany. That he can bring her back down to earth and not let her, check against her worst impulses, maybe. And Varys is basically talking about potentially killing. I don't know if he's talking about killing her specifically, or how that's going to work out. It's not going to be good, though. It's certainly not going to be good. This is going to be how Varys is going to die. I don't know how it's going to work out just yet. I don't know if he's going to go to Jon. Well, I don't know how he's going to do that because the whole next episode looks like it's going to be the siege of King's Landing. I don't know how that's going to work yet. So I don't know if Jon's going to kill him, or if Dany's just going to kill him anyway. I'm not positive yet. So we'll see how that goes. But Tyrion keeps fighting for Varys. He's already done. He wants to move on to Jon because they both found out, that Jon is actually Aegon Targaryen. All right, moving on. So then you get Jaime and Brienne. So that this was actually pretty well done. Like you could see the writing on the wall that she probably wasn't going to be with Tormund, and then there was a possibility of Jaime in there. And they're playing like some goofy drinking game, which people are complaining about them drinking too. It's like, man, these people, they just got a second chance at life. I totally get why they're drinking and having an orgy or whatever they're doing. Totally understandable. Makes complete sense. Like, if you were that pushed that close to death and all these people have died, it makes complete sense. Like, I don't see what the issue is here. It makes sense in my head. So yeah, they end up joking around. Tyrion, is like, hey, they're playing a drinking game, and he's like, you're a virgin, and she gets pissed off and she leaves, and then Jaime eventually goes to her, and then, they have sex that night. And then you don't know, and that's the other thing, you don't know how long Jaime's at Winterfell with her while they're, like, kind of together. But then after he gets news that it looks like Cersei potentially might win, or at least Dany's ability to attack King's Landing is hampered, he goes ahead and, and there's a great, I think that whole scene's well done too. All the Jaime Brienne stuff is good too. I don't know what people keep complaining about, like on some of the stuff. Like, yes, is it rushed? Okay, fine. It's rushed. Like, maybe it should have been spread out over more episodes. Fine. But these are all things that had to happen. Like, you couldn't just sit around and just travel right now, because what would be the point? Character building? We're a little far for character building. Yes, the jumps are long. Okay, totally get it. But yeah, Jaime basically tells her, some of the stuff that he's done and how hateful he is. It completely sets up Jaime killing Cersei. Like, because it makes it look like, it looks like he's trying to tell her that he, maybe he loves his sister. He's trying to protect her sister, something like that. Or that him and her sister are a lot alike. I think this completely sets up him going down to kill Cersei. So we'll see if him and Brienne get back together, or if Jaime ends up dying. I'm not positive on that. And then the episode ends with Dany arriving at King's Landing. Tyrion trying to get Missandei back, and then the Mountain killing her, and then Dany's kind of the whole episode. Dany's nothing really good happens because it's just like the problems with her and Sansa, and then she tries, but she's already really scared. She tries to talk to Jon. That doesn't work out very well. It doesn't go too well. Nothing really goes well for her in any situation because the North, she's jealous of how people treat Jon. And none of this is good. She loses a dragon. She loses Missandei. Like, she's losing everybody. And she's just going to be kind of out there on her own. So they're setting her up to be like the Mad Queen, right? Which I don't believe that. I think this is actually just it's kind of a red herring. I think they're doing basically what they did in season 6 between Arya and Sansa, playing up the tension between them. And I don't believe it. I just don't believe that I don't believe I think she's gonna be coming back down to earth. Now I don't know if it's pregnancy that's gonna bring her back, or I don't know what it is. But I don't think they're gonna go that route where she goes crazy. I think they're just playing with people. They're putting it out there as if they might do that. I don't think it's gonna happen. So yeah, so it ends at Winterfell. And I forgot to write down my predictions here for the next episode. Here's what I'm still going with though. Because they're about to lay siege to the city. The trailer's a little weird. I don't want to make a lot of predictions based on the trailer. Because I've heard a lot of different stuff. People are saying, oh, well, maybe there's more dragons in the world. Maybe, they're coming up with different ideas. And I don't know how to weigh that stuff. Like whether or not it's true or not true. To my knowledge, it's not true. Like there's information out there that, okay, I guess there's a possibility. But I'm going to stay away from that for now. Because, it would be cheap just to bring a bunch of dragons just to win this battle at this point. Like, it looks like a get out of jail free card. I don't like it. So you're gonna come down there. You're gonna surround King's Landing. Hopefully they send out information, to Dorne, and to whatever, to get whatever troops they possibly can get, because then they're gonna need everybody they can get there to choke off King's Landing, and you're gonna have to be able to destroy Euron's navy. If you can do that, then you won't be able to get food into King's Landing. My guess is though it's still gonna work out the same way. I called for earlier a certain group of people sneaking into King's Landing. Mountain gets killed. Cersei gets killed. And not everybody in King's Landing is killed, thankfully. They're not going to kill all the people. And so of course they're going to be, I think that's going to end next episode, I believe. I would think that Cersei's going to die. I still think Jaime's going to kill her. And either the Hound's going to kill the Mountain, or Arya's going to kill the Mountain. So that's going to work out. Arya might kill Qyburn. It's possible that Varys could play a role, in terms of I don't know how all that's going to work out yet. I'm not sure, because at first I thought maybe Bronn would play a role and maybe help capture Tyrion and Jaime, to get them inside. Because Arya, she can take faces. She can be, then they're bringing in a bunch of the peasants and stuff inside of the keep. Right, and inside the Red Keep or around the Red Keep, so that Dany just doesn't come and just try to melt it all down, even though there's scorpions everywhere now. So it's possible that Arya could get any face and be able to get inside. Just doing her thing. That would make sense. And then who knows what kind of problems she could breed once she was inside. So yeah, so all the major components are out there. Maybe you don't know how to get there just yet, but I'm guessing other people are going to show up to help. Maybe the Iron Island shows back up because they say that Yara takes back over the Iron Islands. Maybe they were going to be able to build some kind of a navy because more time has passed. It looks weeks have passed, and I don't know how long Yara's been in the Iron Islands, but amount of time. I don't know if they have more navy or not. But potentially, maybe she tries to kill Euron. In the trailer, you kind of see Euron. It sounds like you hear a dragon or dragons in the background. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out, though. So we'll see about that. I don't think it's going to end very well for Cersei or Euron. I'm assuming he's going to get killed. I'm not sure who's going to kill him just yet. Originally, I leaned toward Theon killing him or Yara killing him. Doesn't seem to be the case right now. if I had to guess, I would say because I don't know who John would be able to fight and what big name he would be able to fight in this whole thing. It makes me feel like he would end up killing Euron only because of that. Because like there has to be someone, there has to be a big name that John's going to be able to fight, right? Because he didn't get to do much in the last battle. Like he wasn't the deciding factor. And in this one, what is he? Is he just going to be a general? That doesn't seem like John to me. Like he seems like he's going to be on the front line. I don't know if Ghost is going to play a role. I don't know if Tormund's going to play a role. I don't know what other groups are still around and how many troops they can actually get. We'll see. We'll just have to see. I don't want to make a lot of predictions this time. I mean, the main prediction's already out there about what's going to happen and how it's going to end. But it's I don't know the exact tactics they're going to use for this one. Because my thought would be is, you know, you kind of cut King's Landing off, sneak people inside, kill the major people. And what you'd have to do is you'd probably have to draw some of the attention away so that you can actually get to them. So you can actually get in there and kill them. But, you know, and that makes sense. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how this plays out. But I was happy with the episode. A lot of people are pissed off. I don't care. I thought it went pretty well. Very similar to past seasons in terms of quality. I thought quality's well done. Characters are well done. People are complaining about the Russian Dany too much to be the Mad Queen. I don't know. I don't really buy a lot of this stuff just yet, so we'll see. All right. So that's all I got for you today. All right. We'll see. Well, hopefully at least it's enjoyable. There's only 2 episodes left. You know, we've been on an 8-season journey to get to this point. I'm just wanting a good end. I think I'm going to be happy no matter what, because I think they're going to try to do the fans right. So I hope so. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.